Karlee. It's been since last July that we spoke, and everybody loved this video.
Thank you. Yeah, it feels like it was just yesterday that we talked, but July sounds like a long time ago.
I know, and you've got some, and I want to tell everybody in case you've missed it, just go to the site and Google it. Your whole thing is graffiti quilting, right?
Yep, that was kind of like my start.
Right. Well, stuff has happened since then, right?
Yes, a lot. So let's see. So I talked to you last July, and at that time, I was actually kind of like right in the middle of doing in vitro, which is crazy. So that happened, and then this happened.
Yay! Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. How far along are you?
23 weeks and a couple days. Yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask for everybody, twins or no twins?
No twins, just one little boy.
Oh, wonderful. And I won't ask you for the name, okay? I'll keep you at that.
Well, I could give you one. Names are hard.
What is it?
I couldn't even give you one because we haven't picked one. They're so hard to pick names. So.
And I have Adair's little boy in the other room, and I can hear the squawking. So people, he's kind of in the middle of sleep. I'm not being a bad bubby. But now that's personally, but now professionally, you've had to kind of change your strategy because of the baby.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So in like 2015, right after graffiti quilting took off, I did a ton of traveling, went to Europe and Australia and Canada and
wow.
bunch of teaching, which was like amazing. It was such a great experience. Then,
oh, and I want to say this, by the way, I've heard about you on the circuit and you come with sterling reviews.
Yes.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad it's that and not like people were so mad at you.
No. You, I've heard nothing but good chops about you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the thing that's just kind of crazy is now that I'm pregnant, I can't travel and just jump on a plane whenever I feel like it. So my new kind of project that I'm working on is working on online classes.
Okay, cool. Tell us about that.
Homes and not have to travel because I can't being pregnant. And
oh, you just wait. It hasn't even started yet, friend.
I know. So I actually just last night launched my first online class. Before I did graffiti quilting, so that was in like 2014. And in 2012, I did a competition at Houston International Quilt Festival for Smart Week. And that's what made this quilt. You made perfect.
I love that. So is that basically a white quilt that you just stitched and painted or whatever?
Yeah, it's a completely whole cloth quilt. So everything comes from the thread.
And this is the class. This is the class?
Yeah. So for my first class, I decided to make it be project-based, where throughout the 4 weeks of the class, I show you every single step and every single motif and how to quilt it so that hopefully by the end of the class, you'll have your own.
Love this. Love this. Okay, so you've got 4 classes.
Yes.
And
so it's 4 weeks long, and so the online platform is a Facebook private group. So every Saturday, I'll do a live video with demonstration that will usually be between 1 and 2 hours long. But then throughout the week, I also moderate the group so that I can answer questions. So if you can't be there live, like if you're in England or Iceland or wherever you may be, you can still see the videos, and then I moderate the comments and, So I'm excited because I think Facebook is such a good platform where we can share pictures and people can show each other the projects and get good feedback. And it's more of a community class opposed to me just like information.
Yeah. And so basically you're setting up a private group that when somebody pays you, then they're in that group. I love that you can share each other's work and all that. Now, when does this class start?
So the first class date is April 8th.
Okay.
And that's a Saturday, and it goes for the next 4 Saturdays. But I'm also going to make sure that the group stays active for the next few months, because I know that there may be people that will watch the videos but may be behind on their homework for the week. If they're anything like me, they'll be behind on their homework. So the group will be active for all those members to stay in and have access to those.
Nice.
the material in the videos and stuff.
Would it be unfair for me to ask you if you might give us a sampling of one of the things we might learn in the class?
No, I would love to.
Okay, cool.
Last time we used my iPad and everyone loved that. So
that was awesome.
Yeah, just in case you asked. So I can show you a couple of the motifs. Like one that I really like on this quilt is like this kind of cross contour.
Oh, yeah.
I love this one because it makes the treble clef look like it's standing up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll show you that one, and then I'll also show you a super easy way to do pebbles, because pebbles are like...
I love pebbles.
Yeah. So let me bring you down here.
I haven't bought one of those yet.
You got it, girl. They're amazing. They changed my life. Okay, so can you see that okay?
I see your belly, too.
Yeah,
Love it.
Okay, how's this line? Is it thick enough?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay, perfect. So let's talk about pebbles first. When I first learned how to do pebbles when I was quilting them, it kind of looked like this.
Okay, like a curly cue or something.
It turned into like a broken phone cord, and I hated the way that they turned out. So one thing that I figured out was if you change the direction of your pebbles with each one, then they stay circular. So what I do is something more like this.
Okay.
So that's essentially what it looks like. But the last thing that I really try to do is I try to hug the edge of each pebble so that they stay nice and tight and compact.
Right, because that seemed loosey-goosey.
Yep, there were gaps in there. So translating that motion, it ends up looking like this. So I just hug the edges super tight. And then those spaces in between, right here, are super small and tiny.
I love that.
They're like my favorite thing to do because I think they're so obedient. Like if you have a space that you're trying to fill, you can just smash pebbles in there and it's so easy to just fit them in. As long as you hug those edges, they just stay nice and tight.
I love that.
So I love pebbles. They're like, it's hard for me to not just do pebbles all the time because they're so easy.
And this, of course, is on a long arm, on a domestic, I mean, whatever you're using, right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about this class, especially because the quilt isn't giant. Uh-huh. You can do the class with any machine that allows for free motion quilting. You don't have to have some fancy long arm. It helps if you do, but, you know, if you free motion quilt on your domestic machine, then you will be totally fine.
Well, you know, the thing is, too, is this is what I've learned from Ricky. There are people who are long armers that drive it this way, and then there's pushers, and I'm a pusher. So, you know, I would rather be on a domestic. Now, granted, it has more arm length on my machine, you know, so that's kind of nice.
Right. So it's nice, especially for big quilts. But what I love about this Shimmering Symphony quilt is I did it on a little sit-down quilting machine. So I know that big machines can do it. I know that little tiny domestic machines.
Right. Okay, what about the music?
Let me show you that one. So this one, I actually learned this technique in high school, but I didn't really realize how cool it could be until I started quilting because in my high school drawing class, when we learned cross contour lines, it would just kind of look like this. Okay. And we would basically just travel kind of wherever our heart takes us and then maybe add like another one next to it. And it was very, very kind of abstract and organic, which I like. Mm-hmm. So to apply that to like your quilt, we obviously have like the path of the treble clef, right? Mm-hmm. That we want to fill in. Now you can do what's called contour lines or cross contour lines, which is basically where you go both directions. Okay. So when I first was looking at this, I was thinking, oh, why don't I just do curly cues like this? Right. Which if you could. Yeah, if that works, it's awesome. But for me, I found that mine started to get loose and then tight again. It was really hard for me to regulate. Right. So what I found myself doing is if you're doing just the regular contour lines, you can just basically jump back and forth and just fill it in that way. Okay, that almost seems a little bit easier to manage, right? You have more control. I like that way better. Yeah. And the nice thing is when you come back to do the cross contours, you can just say, okay, every time I do a new contour, I'm just going to cross my opposite line. And now when you're going back, you have one line for every line that you've done. Does that make sense? That's kind of...
No, it absolutely makes sense. You're just going opposites is what you're doing, and you get this really different look. And it seems as if you have way more control on this.
Right. I like this way a lot better. But if you've got the skill to just kind of go like this, then awesome.
Yeah, I don't know.
The thing that I really like about this is if I feel like this isn't dense enough, then all I have to do is another pass where I just go between my previous line.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And I've already got like basically that roadmap set up to make it double thick.
This is just mesmerizing.
Isn't that so cool?
Yes, yes.
Oh.
And let me ask you something, because people are going to ask this, and I'm not trying to cut off from your drawing. What's that iPad exactly?
Okay, so the iPad I have is the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, and the pencil is just the Apple Pencil.
Okay, okay.
So the app, I remember last time I didn't mention the app, and I got like 19 emails asking what the app was. The app is called Procreate.
Okay, okay.
And it's like $7 or something. It's the best $7 I've ever spent. It's such a great app.
Okay, so so it has to be a newer iPad. I couldn't do it on my old iPad, probably.
No, not necessarily.
Really?
No, I think people, yeah, if you have a smaller iPad, I think the key is if you have a stylus. The stylus helps if you're trying to draw with your fingers.
No, that would be, yeah. It's like when you sign your check, you know, with the, forget it, or the check, whatever it is, you know, when you sign your thing at the store. Okay, so in this class, let's get back to that. Those are really great, and you've broken it down very simply. Do you know off the top of your head about how many different motifs you're going to be teaching?
Let's see. One, two, if I just look at the quilt.
Sure. Can you show us some of the things?
Yeah. So some of the things that you'll learn. I love this quilt because it also breaks up like my Karlee curls into a few styles with the wood grain. Because that's something when I was making the quilt, I kept trying to figure out how to do wood grain. So I came up with a couple different styles. The first one, like on this guitar, is a very loose type of wood grain.
Okay.
And then on the violin, it's the same idea, but it's a little bit tighter.
More curly, it looks like, a little bit more wavy or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. And then finally, I also teach my Karlee curl. So that's like the coolest version of the wood grains. And then on top of that, also we do the contour lines, the pebbles. We talk about like how to do like clamshell type designs on a very small scale, as well as how to do different like filler stripes. Because I think the key is, because it's a whole cloth quilt, all of the color has to come from the thread.
Right.
So like when people would see the piano keys.
Yeah, what about that?
Yeah, it's all completely thread based.
Wow.
And so I talk about how you can use your thread to add the color, where it looked like people would say, how did you applique those keys on? But really I didn't. It's all thread based.
Well, you know what's so great, Karlee, is okay, you don't have to travel, and you are not going to be able to more than you even know, but you're still able to teach, which is your passion, and then people don't even have to travel to go to your class, but yet there's that interactiveness that's going to happen. You, how long might a class be, one of the 4 classes?
Probably close to 2 hours.
Wow.
The live video itself, I'm guessing between the instruction as well as me demonstrating, will probably be close to 2 hours every Saturday. Okay. But then throughout the week, I also post little tips and videos and different technique videos. Along with like the free motion quilting, I'm also going to talk about how to do couching on a domestic machine, how to do bobbin work on a domestic machine.
Nice.
If people want to get into beading.
I'm hearing the beads and I love them.
Yeah, so doing that as well as hot fix crystals, because I think, trying to decide where to place your crystals, where a lot of people I think of them as an afterthought. Mm-hmm. I very much integrate them into my quilts. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about thread types, fabric types.
So a whole bunch of information.
Yeah, so it's more than just me saying, okay, watch me quilt. It's going to be very, interactive, and let's talk about what works for you. You don't have to do my filler designs. You don't have to pick your colors the same as mine. I'm hoping that everyone will choose a different color scheme so that we can and show the differences.
Right, right. Okay, so again, it starts when?
April 8th.
And you've already started taking sign-ups, and where would somebody go to sign up?
So on my website, karleeporter.com, under the shop and then education.
Okay. And then you told me you have a special gift to TQS people.
I do, all of your special people. I have a $25 off coupon for your followers specifically.
And how do they get that?
I will send you the coupon and you can add it to this video if you want.
Okay, that's awesome. I'll have Mary Kay put that in too. We'll put that in the bottom so you guys, I would take advantage of this because Karlee has so much to offer. And truly, I see your dog, by the way.
Oh.
I see a squirrel. I see a dog. Oh, cute. And truly, the reviews of your class has just been fantastic. I was like, oh, I had her. She's wonderful. And all that. And I love to see you growing in so many different ways.
Oh, thank you. Hopefully they are attractive ways that I can grow.
And when is the due date? And I know you told me the weeks, but
June. First week of June.
Nice. Well, congratulations, and congratulations on your class.
Thank you. I'm hoping it works out. I'm really looking forward to it. I really miss the interaction with students. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Now I hear my baby crying. Can you hear the baby in the other room?
Yeah,
I know. So sadly I have to cut this off, but Bubby duty's called.
Oh, that's most important.
I am so happy for you. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, and people, I would really check this out. Okay, I would seriously check this out. I think you will be very, very pleased with the results. Oh, good. Baba's going to go take care of the baby. But anyways, thank you so much, and thank you for keeping in touch with me so that, I can know what you're doing. I think you're really innovative, you're young, you're creative, and you have a lot to offer the quilting world.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying.
Okay, keep me posted.
Okay, thanks, Alex. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.